All right, it's recording. So I don't know how to get I've got to get a light ring in my room because my face is washed out all the time. So anyway, all right. So this is call number 2. And I'm super glad. I'm so sorry that I just completely, last week my parents were here and I had a toothache. And so I would do stuff with my parents in the morning. And then by the time like noon came, I took a hydrocodone and went to bed, or continued to sit with my parents, but could not do anything else. So I spent most of the week like this. So anyway, so I'm probably gonna have to have a root canal. Yay! So.
Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Not looking forward to that. But let's see. Trying to get some glare off my glasses, but if I take the glasses off, I can't see. So there. All right. So my apologies. I'm so sorry. It's I had a host who I just was supposed to do a dinner party last night, but we had booked it Friday, and I didn't do anything for her. Set up her website, nothing till Sunday.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So you guys were not the only ones that were abandoned. So my apologies. And I was doing all this apologizing because I felt very embarrassed. So, all right. So, watch the last video? It's like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think so.
It was the one about discovering your ratios. No, it wasn't. Yeah. I'm sorry. It was the one prospecting and booking away from parties.
Yes, the one about calling like contacts.
Yep. Putting the mini catalogs in your, that's the one. So the challenge at the end was to hand out 10 new mini catalogs each week. And I'm going to tell you, I have failed. I finally got them in. And the thing that I realized is that I do not get out much. And this is probably the first place I've been where I just don't get out much. And so, so I understand the challenge for people that don't get out much. And so I always go to the self-checkout line at Walmart. And so I was like, okay, I need to stop going to the self-checkout line, I need to stop doing these things that I've gotten in the habit of doing, so that I can interact with more people. What about you? Have you tried to interact with more people?
Probably not. That's like, I guess because I'm an introvert, that's like super exhausting to me. So.
It is. Probably the thought of it is exhausting. I think Tiara would probably agree with you. So I talked a little bit about this yesterday on my Tip Tuesday. But having kind of knowing what you're going to say and saying the same thing every time makes it easier. Notice I didn't say makes it easy because I still kind of shake in my boots a little bit when I talk to people, when I'm, having this conversation, which I'm like, oh, is this natural? Is it, like I know in my brain that it's not weird, but then I'm having this inner struggle. It's not natural. It is natural, and so hopefully that doesn't come out. But especially as I get back in the habit of doing that and really having those intentional conversations. So it'll probably break you out in a little sweat. But the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And you'll have that conversation that really is effective. My husband used to walk years ago when I was really good at it, and for some reason I've gotten away from it. I do other things instead of, talking to strangers, but when I used to talk to everybody at Walmart, at whatever, my husband, he would just walk away. He was like, I would be standing next to him and talking to somebody in the toy aisle, and then he was gone. So that probably started him abandoning me at Walmart and Target, but because he was like embarrassed, but I would get leads, and I would book shows with people that I met at Walmart and Target just because I started a conversation. So, and so practicing that is good. And the other thing about practicing with strangers is they leave. you may or may not see them ever again, and that's okay. You get better for the time when it counts, and when you're going to meet and you're going to run into somebody and you're going to talk to them, and it's going to really change the way you do things. So that's awesome. All right. So do you have a little notebook to track your contacts?
Nope.
Okay.
That's been bad.
Okay. So you definitely want to work on that, because that's accountability and it keeps you honest. So let's see if I can get this to show with my horrible backlit thing.
I do have a note in my phone that has all of my like potential leads.
Good.
Not like people that I just randomly called, but like potential leads.
So if you start another note in your phone, because it doesn't have to be a notebook, it can be a note in your phone. Start another note in your phone and have it be like new leads. And then, number it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put a date, do it like you would do it on a book, and put a date and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my goal is or 15, down to 15. My goal is to contact 15 people this week. Some of them are going to be old, like we talked about. Some of them are going to be old, and some of them are going to be new. Okay. So instead of drawing a line down mine, I just kind of commented what kind of call they were. If it was a morning after call, which is a new call, or if it was a follow-up call, or, I started commenting on what they were, and then putting a little check mark if I talked to them. But you can do all of that on your phone. And what it does is this sits on my desk. So I see this, and I know that I need to have, and we're supposed to have 15 calls a week, but I put down to 20 because I have room to put 20 on my sheet. And so I'm like, I have to have 20 by the end of, I know my ratio. So I know I need to have 20 people that I've reached by the end of the week to talk to the number of people that I want to talk to book the shows that I want to book. And my preference would be that I would book all my shows at my parties, which we're going to talk about today. And I know that was something you want to talk about too.
Yeah.
But talk about, my preference would be to book that, and then all I'm doing is follow up customer service. That would be my preference. So, but I'm determined that this summer I'm going to do some things, get out, like Bible studies and other things where I'm getting out and like actually meeting people and interacting with people. So, all right. And then we had a training audio, which was Make It a Network by Heidi Toms and Courtney Cheney. Did you get a chance to listen to that?
I don't think so.
Okay. So definitely you want to listen to that. That's something you can listen to while you're working out, while you're walking or whatever. You just find it, you find it under the Consultants Corner. It's actually in the Director Bound Training Resource. There's a link right there. And you can download it to your phone. So you don't have to be connected. You can download it. So, and they're usually about 45 minutes because they're from previous, conferences. Okay. So, and there'll be another one for today. So that'll give you, 2 to listen to this week. And they're so great. I mean, after conference, I used to buy the tapes, like audio tapes or the CDs that had all of the workshops in them so that I could listen to them all the time. I would listen to them on my way to a show. I would listen to them while I was walking. I would just listen to them over and over and over again because there's just such value in them. So, so that's good. All right. So let's move on to talk a little bit about booking at parties. Last week we talked about booking outside of parties. I've been working this month, just focusing on booking ideas on our team page. So hopefully we're going to get lots of booking ideas covered. Some of them might be duplicate to you because it's really funny. I'll share one and then I'll be like, oh, that's on the Director Bound call coming up. So that's kind of funny. But today we're going to talk about how to plant booking seeds throughout the party. So I'll go through this. As you have questions, let me know. And I think this is more geared towards the in-person party, but then we can talk about the virtual party as well. Okay. And one of the things that I noticed on here that's not mentioned is getting your host to help you. And so I'll definitely mention that. All right. So all the resources that I'm going to talk about today came in your kit. Okay. So, well, not all of them, almost all of them came in your kit. I just ordered the new ones because, they change them up from time to time. So I just ordered the new ones, and these are so great. You're right. I remember you told me that they will focus on the station style. But in looking at these, you could use these even if they're not station style. You can just use them like recipe cards. Okay, so the way you do the interactive show. So so that's great. I have those clipped out because we're not going to talk about like actually that part. So, all right. So let's see. The first thing that we want to talk about is how to tell your story. Okay, so and this is actually, you might think, oh, that has to do with recruiting, but really you want people book with you because they like you. Okay, so at a in-person party, some of the things that happen at the beginning, of course, is when you want to be set up before everybody comes in. And I'm going to be honest, I suck at that. I am almost always still setting up when people come in. Okay, and so so that is bad for me. So that's something that I need to work on. I need to maybe get there a little bit earlier, or somehow streamline my setup so that I can be set up, because that's a big thing. Then what that does is that enables you to, I'm happy to tell you where I'm failing. So, but that enables you to interact with the guests and meet people and interact with them and say, hey, how was your day? Hey, how do you know Alba, the host? Hey, get to know them. Have you been to a Pampered Chef party? What's your favorite, get to actually save those questions for the group. But getting to know them. Hey, what was something great that happened to you today? Getting them in a good mood, they're going to be endeared to you. Just like if you were engaging with somebody that you at a regular party, you might to know them that way. And so there's somebody that you might want to spend more time with. So it's the same kind of thing. So in the beginning, after everybody's coming in and everybody's kind of ready, kind of gathering, ready to start, you want to be able to tell your story. I break my story into two parts. So I tell them a mini story in the beginning, and then I tell a deeper story, kind of the rest of the story at the end. Okay, and I do this for recruiting purposes, but at the beginning, I'm like, my name is Jennifer. I've been with Pampered Chef for 20 years. I met Alba. So I'm using Alba because I had a party last night. So I met Alba, actually 10 years ago. I did a party for her, 10 years ago, right here in this very kitchen. So that's exciting. But I connected with her again last week. You could say I met her last week at Tiffany's party, and so we decided we had to do it again. So we're so excited. I'm so glad you guys are here. But just a little bit about me. I've been with Pampered Chef for 20 years, or 2 months, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's longer than they've been with Pampered Chef. I've been with Pampered Chef for 20 years, and I got started because I wanted everything. And I had 3 little kids at home, 18-month-old twins and a 4-year-old, and my husband was never home. And I wanted everything and, needed a little sanity. And so that's why I got started. And I do have everything now, but I'll tell you why I stick around at the end. Okay. So sometimes you can paint a picture. My name is Valerie, and I'm a nurse, and we just moved here. My husband's in the military, and I started Pampered Chef because I wanted everything, because I wanted to learn how to interact with people. Whatever it is, you can tell them what it is, and it might be different depending on the group, Some people you might say something. If you know the group, it's different than what you would say if they're total strangers, So, but anyway, so then give a little bit of your story and say, I love this. I'm having so much fun, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what I'm looking forward to at the end. Okay, and so that kind of gives them like a teaser. It's like a trailer, So, but they're genuinely interested. They don't want to know everything, but just give them a quick thing. I'm with Pampered Chef. I've been here for a couple months and got started because I wanted everything, and I'm loving it. I'm building my product list, and and I'll tell you later why I stick around. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But telling your story is really great. On our team page, I'll tag you in the post. but there's a video that I posted by Chelsea Hacking. And it is a fantastic, like 1-minute intro that she does at her shows. And so that it's just a great example of an intro. And so I'll tag you in that so you can look and get an idea about what, something you might want to do. Now, virtual parties, let's apply that to virtual parties. I definitely think you can do the same thing at a virtual party. Okay. So when I set up a virtual party, I have my host message the guests. I send her a graphic and I have her message the guests. And I have her say, hey, I'm having a virtual party. It starts on this date. If you're doing the posting once, it starts on this date. And I would love to have you come. What do you think? Can I add you to the group? Can I add you to the event? And she's going to get her people, or watch your Facebook notifications for the, invitation. Then when she comes back to me and she says, done, then I say, okay. And I have already created the event. I just send her the link and add her as a host. Okay. Here's the event. And you're added as a host, or I invite them, however depending on how you do it, groups or events or whatever. So she's invited people, giving them a heads up. Then she's going to start inviting people. Once I see people starting to come into the group or come into the event and click yes, I'm going to go live. And I'm going to do a quick live. Hey guys, I'm so excited about Amanda's party. And I'm so excited to have you here. My name's Jennifer. I've been with Pampered Chef about 20 years. I got started because I wanted everything. If you guys have already started looking through the catalog, you probably know what I'm talking about. And I stick around. Well, you know what? As we get to it towards the end of the party, I'll tell you why I stick around. But I'm so glad that you're here. I look forward to partying you with this week. And just so you know, this is how it's going to work. Blah, blah, blah. And you tell them how it's going to work. There's going to be 3 posts a day. There's going to be recipes. There's going to be games. Whatever you're doing. Here's how it works. And so then I also want to have a call to action. So, hey, if you would love to kick things off with a free recipe book, text me at this number, and then have like your phone number. Text me at this number, and I will, or private message me, and I will, and say Amanda's party in your private message, and I will send you a free recipe book. And it's just, I just go to my website and like copy the recipes and put them on a Word document, save them as a PDF, 10 pages, boom, summer recipes, boom, 30-minute dinners, boom, side dishes or desserts. I mean, it could be anything, and it takes me like 20 minutes to put a new one together, because I have to format it correctly. If you don't really care about formatting, then it can take you like 5 minutes to put it together. But I take the recipes off my website and make sure my information is on the cover, and it's so easy. And that's what I send them. I send them that recipe book as their freebie. But the point is, I want to get them interacting with me. So that's the first thing for a virtual party. You want to get them, and it's the same thing at a live party. They're already there in person, so they're going to be interacting. So at a virtual party, you might have to do something to pull them in. So, and then I take that post and I pin it. You know how to pin a post? Mm-mm. Okay. So at the top, like in a video, like I'm pointing at the top right corner. Well, I'm pointing at the top left corner. It's really like at the top right corner. On Facebook, when you're in a group, or you're in an event, there's like up at the top after you've done your video. In an event, do you do events or groups?
Events.
Okay, so in an event, this is really easy. In an event, you'll go back, you've done your video, you've done your live, or you've loaded your video, however you want to do it, close it out. And then after the post is on there, there's an ellipsis, those 3 little dots. You click on that, and it'll give you a drop down. One of the things is pin this post. And so then you can pin that to the top. So then whenever they come to the event, boom, it's the first thing they see. Oh, okay. And it just will. And if you do a video that is not YouTube, but it's organic to Facebook, it will automatically play. Okay? And I believe you can add captions. It takes a little bit of time to add captions, but you can add captions. I mean, people watch videos without any words, so you could add captions. So I think that sounds like a summer job for my son. Add captions to my video. I mean, it automatically adds them, but they do definitely require.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good because I've come to think about it, like I watch most of my Facebook videos without turning the sound on.
I watch 9 out of 10.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I love it. If they don't have captions, I don't watch them. So I think about that, and it's the same thing for us, you know. So you want to keep it short so that if you're going to edit those and add those captions in, and you can do that with the Facebook. I mean, it's when you get in there and you go to editing, especially if you're doing your business page, it's really easy to add that in. So you can just play with it. Okay. So that's the beginning. Tell your story. That's just like one little point. Okay. And it makes them begin to know you, but not, I mean, and trust you, because you want them to know, like, and trust you. That is the most important thing. They have to know, like, and trust you in order to buy from you and to book with you. Okay. And, you know, buying, they're going to support their friends. So that is going to be one thing. But when you know, like, and trust a consultant, you're going to buy more. You're going to want to spend more time with them. You're going to want to book with them. So a great example of that is, and I give this example a lot, and it's so tragic that she's not selling Younique anymore. But this lady, I tell the story a lot. There's varying different levels of lessons to get out of this. My friend invited me to a Younique party. And, you know, I get invited to stuff all the time. I'm assuming everybody does, but I get invited to stuff all the time. And so my friend messaged me and said, hey, my friend from high school asked me if I'd host this Younique party. And so I was wondering if it'd be okay if I add you. And I was like, sure, of course, you know. And I liked, first of all, that she was asking me first, you know, and letting me know about it. I liked that a lot. And then I was like, of course, yeah, absolutely. So then this girl's posts started popping up. Christy's posts start popping up. And she's 40 like me. I'm 47, but she's, you know, in her 40s like me. And she's doing the makeup thing. She's putting the makeup on. I mean, she's coming onto the screen with nothing on her face and putting the makeup on and giving us tips. It wasn't pictures of anybody else. It was pictures of her. And it was videos of her. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, and I watched them. I had been to I don't know how many online Younique parties, but I had never watched them or listened to them before. And so it was so different. And so that changed things for me and made me realize that, and I bought a lot, way more than I had intended. And I said, oh my gosh, my daughter needs to sell this, you know? And so then I signed my daughter up under Christy, you know? So that all stemmed from Christy being authentic and real and making a connection to her. Even if she didn't make a connection to me, I was making a connection with her, which it was very effective. And I learned so much as a consultant from that party. So she sells LuLaRoe now. Which, you know, if you're doing live videos and stuff, I mean, that's maybe more her style. I don't know. So, all right. So the next thing to talk about is the group below. So after you know, do your little introduction and really brief, really brief, you're basically going, and actually it talks about it in here, the group below. It says, welcome, let's get this party started. If I missed talking to anybody as you came in, I'm Jennifer Soto, and I'm your Pampered Chef consultant. Before we get started cooking, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, as you may be wondering what got me started with Pampered Chef. So that's not any different than what I was saying to you, okay? But that's right here on these cards. Okay, so that starts with the group hello. You want to thank the host and the guests, and then you start planning the booking and the recruiting seats right away. Okay, and so you'll say something like this. Throughout the party, you're probably going to fall in love with several products, and you may even start to wonder how much you can make doing what I do. When this happens, let's chat. We have options to get you more products, earn great money, party every time you work like I do. Okay, so and so you can tailor that to your words. I would probably not say something exactly like that. I would be like, all right, guys, so we're getting ready to start, and I just want to warn you, like, you're probably going to fall in love with everything you see and touch. And don't freak out, that's not a problem, because I have several different options for you. You can, of course, buy it. You can get it at half price or free when you host, or you could even get it free and then make some money like I do. So stay tuned and don't freak out if your wish list gets too big. I mean, that's kind of more the words that I would use, way more relaxed. So kind of almost as a joke, like I'm like, oh, don't freak out. Like, don't get worried, John, So that's kind of how I would do it. But you might do it differently. But the point is you need to know what you're going to say. You need to know that you're going to say something like, your wish list is going to get giant. Don't be alarmed. Okay. But we can help you with that. Okay. We can get you a little bit tonight. We can host a show, or you can become a consultant. And the thing is people come to these shows. I mean, and you might even say that in your introduction here, or maybe when you kick off the party, the first post that you're kicking off the party for your virtual party, you might type in there something like that. Hey, as we go through these next couple of days, your biggest problem is going to be deciding what to get. But don't worry. You can order a little bit now, and we can set up your own party so you can get stuff at a discount and even free. My average host gets blah, blah, blah. Okay? So, or our average host, if you want to use the company average, our average host gets $90 free, because the company average is like close to $600. So, and that includes, that's cooking shows average. They're getting ready to work out the averages where they have a cooking show, a virtual show, and a catalog show out. They're getting ready to change all of that, thank goodness, with the rise of virtual parties. But you can just say the average host gets $90 in free products. Okay, that's an accurate statement. So that's something that you can say. I'm going to turn my speaker down a little bit. Okay, so that's something that you can say that will help. That will help plant those seeds, because that's what you're doing, is planting seeds. And so it may not seem like anything to them, but you've already said you can host a party. Okay, so. All right, so as you're, so that's the group hello. When you're starting, you're going to introduce yourself, thank your host, and then tell them they're not going to be able to buy everything they wanted to. So, which actually preps you for the checkout chat when you say, were you able to get everything you wanted? And they're like, no. So, all right, so the next thing is weaving booking messages into the simple selling and group selling, okay? So we're going to talk live in-person show first, okay? So in-person show, it's really easy to say things like when I talk about my rock, I say most of my hosts get this either free or half price, okay? That's a booking statement. When I talk about my recipes, that I'm doing. So I have done fajitas at the last 11 parties.
Easy.
I keep saying to my hosts, we can do something different. And they're like, no, I want to do fajitas. I mean, I can do margaritas at another party. Like, they don't have to be attached to the fajitas. We make this giant picture of margaritas. I think everybody likes, I don't know. Fajitas, I'm not complaining. It's an easy show and shows its own products, but it's so funny to me. I mean, I was intentional about it in the month of April, and now it's just taken on a life of it. But anyway, so, talking about other recipes that you might do, other themes, hey, we can do, I love doing healthy in a hurry parties. I love doing, talking about online stuff. You can say, oh my gosh, I have so many different things that I can teach you. I can teach you fast and fresh every day. I can teach you, I don't know, all kinds of things. Just look through the party packs and just kind of mention those things. So again, you can do that with a post. You can either make a graphic that has all of the different party themes on it, or you can do a big question mark, like, what would you want to do at your party? I think I would do with like some of the different words on there, what kind of theme would you like to do at your party? And then you can list the different themes that you're willing to do with the party pack. So, and the party packs, they make it so easy. Oh my gosh, so easy to figure out something great. You're just coming up with the words, basically. I mean, they give you the words, but you're just making them your own, and you can add that in there. But doing something, we're doing this time, but what would you want to do? And that's also an engagement post. What are you most curious? What would you like to learn about the most? And it could be something like that where you're getting them to engage. And then anytime somebody comments, if they like a post or they comment on a post, they're getting a private message. Okay. So I might answer them on the page, but then I'm also going to send them a private message. Okay. And I think that's really, really important. Okay. And then we're weaving those messages throughout this. And then, like I said, they're one-liners. So back in the day, we used to talk about taking little star stickers and putting them on products, so that you would remember, like, or circle stickers that, you get those circle stickers that have different colors, like taking one of those and putting them on different products. So green was always recruiting products. And so you picked 2 products that had a green sticker on them. And then, another color, yellow or something, might be your bookings, thing. And you had 2 products so when you picked them up, it reminded you to talk about them. And it's a great visual reference. I have not heard anybody give that advice in probably 15 years, but that's something we used to talk about a long time ago. And so if you're doing live parties and you need something to remind you, like tying a ribbon on your finger, tying a string on your finger, or setting a reminder on your phone, you definitely want to have something that reminds you. And so for me, my Rock Crock is always my booking one, because we start the whole show, like with the fajitas, we start the whole show and I say, okay, I got to tell you guys about this Rock Crock. Before we are doing anything, before we slice, before we do anything, I tell them all about the Rock Crock, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's the most amazing thing. And then they're adding their own comments. Does it do this? Or they're asking questions. And I say, it is a great deal. I said, it is going to change your life at $139. And then for an extra $30, you can get the slow cooker stand. So for $169, it is going to make a huge difference in your life. But even better, I can do you better, and you can get it as a host half price or even free. So keep this on your wish list. This needs to be on your wish list, okay? This is something you need to have in your kitchen. I just tell them this is something you need to have in your kitchen. So can you do that for other products? Yeah. And if you're doing, like if you were going to pick a product of the day and go live in your virtual parties, I would do that. I would say, this is something that you're going to use every day in your kitchen. And at 100, if you have the everyday pan, because that's what came in your kit, at $119, at $119, it's a great deal. It's going to make a big difference. But you can get it with the stand for $149, and it's going to change your life. Okay. And then maybe post some recipes later that day of, one of the things that I was doing in my virtual parties before I switched to doing the live ones is I created albums that had all the recipes for the day, and then I just shared the album just for time. And now that you can't post, you said share to events. That might be something that you want to think about, because then they're all together, all the recipes for one day, like if you're doing 2 or 3 recipes a day. Anyway, so sorry, that just popped into my head. Has nothing to do with booking. So, but anyway, if you choose to go live in your parties a couple of times a week, that's a perfect time to really talk about, to give them the options of booking. One of the reasons I switched to the live virtual party was because, I've just been doing parties for 20 years. And so I'm good at that. And I found that I was better able to make connections with people when I was doing it live, when I was reading comments, and they could see me. It was just a much better way for me to interact. So I'm extroverted though. So it's natural for me. So when if you want to do something else, the thing is you just have to make that connection and ask questions and post things in a way that is engaging. So, saying, what's your biggest dinner dilemma? Is it not knowing what to cook, or is it not having the time to cook? So then when they answer, say, oh my gosh, they just say, I don't know what to cook. Oh my gosh, I have a fast and fresh ideas party that we can do, give you some ideas. And if you're doing a fast and fresh parties, you can do the one pot wonders. Oh my gosh, I have a great weeknight, easy weeknight dinner, recipes I can do next week. We can do it next week. But you see, you're engaging with them. And if somebody says, oh, I don't know, I don't have any time. Okay, well, guess what? I have a whole outline for doing prep ahead. I would love to do a prep ahead party with you, give you some tips and ideas for how to get, ahead in your meal planning for the week. What do you think? And so engaging things like that. Then when people comment or play the game or whatever, and you give them tickets for answering, so they're going to want to answer, but it gives you the opportunity to take that a little bit further. Okay. And all of the bookings are gotten based on that personal relationship. Probably 4 out of 5 bookings are because you asked somebody, 1 out of 5 is because somebody says, "Hi, Jennifer, I want to have a party." So, but most of them require a little encouragement or a little ask. Okay. So it's going to be the same. I can't imagine it would be any different on a virtual party at all. You just have to figure out ways to have that interaction with them. So, all right. Class is back on. What's the next thing? All right. The next thing is this. I wanted to share the importance of having 2 bookings at every party. So it's really funny that we're talking about this because I did a whole video on it like 2 weeks ago. Did you see that video? Okay. When I did, I took the chart and I wrote on it and filled the whole chart with numbers.
Yes. Oh, no, that doesn't look familiar.
Well, you know what? Then I'll go ahead and do it again. Okay. Let me erase this. I'm sorry if you got to see my butt there.
It was out of the screen, so.
Okay, good. I squatted down. I was like, oh, I have yoga pants on. Okay. So hopefully I'm going to get this close enough so you can see it. Okay, good. So I'm going to erase it and we'll start from scratch. It's been sitting on here 2 weeks, so it's going to take me a second to erase it. So this is going to be a comparison of what happens when you get 1 booking at a party as opposed to getting 2 bookings at a party, okay? And so a lot of times, one of the things I talk about a lot, and this was kind of how I kicked off the month, and it's funny because I've done director bound before, so I know, what's in the book, but I forgot that this was a whole lesson on this. Actually got the information from somewhere else, another note that I had somewhere. But it's so true. And so one of the things I've been talking about is getting 2 bookings at every party. And on my goals, when we have our goals set up for the month and everything, I always say we need to have 2 bookings at every party. And this is going to be the explanation of why. Okay. I think it looks like it's erased from your standpoint anyways. So it's a little blotchy on here. All right, so here's what happens. When we've got over here, this is going to be 2 bookings at every party, okay? And then this one is going to be 1 booking at every party. All right, and so we're going to go down this side first, okay? And so we have month 1. Okay, and so month 1, you have, I have to have my glasses, oh my gosh, so small. Okay, we have 6 parties dated, so that's 6P, and then we're gonna have 2 cancellations because that just happens, right? So we have 2 cancellations, okay, that's what the X stands for. So that's gonna equal 4 parties held. Okay, this is month 1. So if you have 4 parties held, and then you have 2 bookings at each party, that equals 8 new parties, right? Okay, so maybe they're stretched out over a couple of months. So I'm not talking about doing 8 parties the next month, okay? Because we know how bookings are. You might get 1 for the next month and 1 for the month after, okay? So that's the first month. So now we have month 2, okay? So in month 2, we have how many? We're going to have 8 parties on our schedule, right? We're going to have 8 parties on our schedule, okay? And we're going to have 2 cancellations again because that's what happens. and that's going to equal 6 parties held. All right? So, and this is imagining, say you have 6 parties, you're booking out, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to have 8 parties. This is great. Okay, so, so now if you have 6 parties that are held, and you get 2 bookings at every show, that gives you 12 new bookings. Okay? So then we have month 3. Okay? And so we have 12 bookings on our calendar. 12 bookings on our calendar. And we're going to have 2 cancellations, because at this point we've gotten excellent at host coaching. Okay, we're amazing host coachers. So that's going to equal 10 parties held. Okay, and so if we have 10 parties held with 2 bookings, that equals 20 parties. Okay, on our calendar, 20 new parties. All right, so now we get into month 4. My handwriting gets worse as we go along. We have 20 parties, okay, scheduled, and we have 4 cancellations this time, because that's just the way numbers are, and that's going to equal 16 new parties. Okay, and then out of those 16 new parties that we do, if we have 2 bookings, it equals 32 new parties. So you can see how with 2 bookings at every show, it's just going to grow, okay? Now, conversely, if we look at just having 1 party at each show, so 1 booking at each show. So we have month 1, we start with the 6 parties, right? Minus the 2 cancellations equals 4 parties that we held. And if we do the 4 parties times, we're doing times 1 booking. I'm just going to go and do the same math again. Times 1 booking equals what? 4 parties held, or 4 new parties, okay? So go to month 2, and if we have 4 parties held, minus 2 cancellations equals 2 parties held. Do the math. 2 parties held times 1 booking equals 2 new parties. Okay? Go to month 3. You can see how this is going. 2 parties held, okay, minus 2 cancellations. As it happens, you're kind of not focused. We have 0 parties that we're doing, okay? 0 parties that we're doing means in month 4, we have no business. Okay? So, is that an oversimplification? Yes. But it shows you why you need to do 2 parties at every show. You need to have 2 bookings at every show, okay? And the importance of that. So then the 2 bookings means you have 1 to replace the one you did and 1 to grow, okay? And you're always going to get cancellations. That's something I kind of like to track, is that my cancellations, and make sure that, you know, I'm not getting those last minute cancellations. 9 times out of 10, people cancel because they didn't invite people. And the same thing for online parties. 9 times out of 10, if they don't invite people, if they don't get the people to say they're going, nothing's going to happen. Okay, so you probably already know that. So, all right, the last thing I want to talk about, which I'm going to write this in here because it's not in here, is, because I didn't do this, host. Get host help. Okay, so it's not in the outline here, but I think this is really important. Getting your host to help you get those bookings. So this starts with host coaching. So when you first book your show, you want to explain to your host, you know, hey, you get lots of benefits for having your party. You get free products, you get half price products, you get discounted products. You get a 10% discount for the next year, but also you have this cool booking benefit, okay? And so when you get this cool booking benefit, this is when you have people who book at your party and you go to their party and you get a 50% off item. This is great because most people don't want to put out the money to get all of the big half price items they want at their party. So this helps to spread it out. There's no limit to how many bookings you can have, and it's for any parties booked in the next 6 months. So I'm going to put this ball in your court and really encourage you to get at least 2 bookings from your friends before we start. Okay? What do you think about that? 2 people who want to host their own party. And you know what? When you do that, when we get 2 dated bookings, then I'll give you whatever, a seasoning order. You can just add it to her order. Okay? So I'll give you, an extra $5 off your free shipping. That's a good one. When you have 2 bookings dated before your party, I'll give you free shipping for your order. People love free shipping.
Yeah. My incentive usually for them to fill out the survey at the end.
Okay. For the guests?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a big incentive for your guests. It's expensive. I would do something less, like maybe a season fest or something like that. Or a free recipe book.
So I do a drawing.
Oh, okay. But if everybody got a free recipe book that you emailed them, that doesn't cost any money.
Yeah.
So that's the other option. So I don't know. These are things that I've actually recently gone, oh, I can do these things for free. And they love them. I'll give you a recipe of, you can even choose if you want breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Do you want breakfast, dinner, or dessert? And you can put together these recipe books. We have these fantastic graphics that are in the marketing imagery that you could use even. So you could use a recipe, you could put together a recipe book from another one of the party packs, send that to them. So all kinds of things you can do. So, but those are some of the things that I would do. Okay, so that is the first thing is I would offer my host free shipping for getting 2. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start doing that with my very next party. And actually, I'm going to message my host from last night and say, all right, here's the gig. 2 parties. You bring me 2 parties. You get them dated, then I'll give you free shipping on your order. Okay? So we brainstormed that. Look, we came up with that together. We were together. But anyway, so, that is something like that, talking, and really you have to have a conversation with your host. It works best when it's a conversation. Then you can reinforce it with an email. Hey, just wanted to remind you when you have 2 bookings, 2 bookings that before, and the reason you say before your party, because those are bookings that she's getting you. Okay. And if you want to include bookings from the party, maybe say when we have 3 bookings at your party, you'll get free shipping. You can just do 2 bookings at your party. You can start out with 2 and then up it as it's going well. Okay. So that's what the Pamper Jeff does. They say, oh, hey, 750, 750, oh, it's 1,000 this month. It's going well. So you can do the same thing. So that's one thing. Partner with your host. There's all kinds of ideas out there, bingo sheets, all this stuff, but you really want to make sure you're using something that you can easily articulate. And so if your main goal, like my main focus at my parties has been to get the bookings at my parties, and I have literally been racking my brain thinking, how can I encourage my hosts? And I was trying to come up with an incentive. And so that's probably why it came so easily, is because I was trying to come up with an incentive that I could use. It would be something kind of organic, something that, I don't like, I forget to add things onto orders and stuff like that, but I can take off shipping. That is really easy to credit them $5.25, So, and I would definitely do that if I had 2 solid bookings at every single party. That would be great and worth it. Okay. So that's the first thing. So the other thing that you had mentioned in your email to me or in your message to me was getting them. So we talked a little bit throughout the other ways that you can in your virtual party generate some interest and some interaction to create those bookings. Did that give you some good ideas? Okay, good. And then the last thing you mentioned was getting them to fill out the survey form. Okay. And again, I would go back to my host for this. Okay. So I would tell my, in your host coaching, you're telling your host, okay, so I'm going to be posting the drawing slip today. And so I'm so excited. We're gonna do the drawing slip. I'm gonna be giving away free shipping if that's your prize. I'm gonna be giving away free shipping. That's the prize. And I don't give away anything unless the order qualifies, So, I mean, even if I draw a name, I'm like, unless the party qualifies as a party, I don't give away benefits. I don't give away prizes or anything. And so it's funny because sometimes people will really step up and go, oh, I wasn't going to order, but now I will because I want that party to qualify. So I don't know why people participate and then don't order. So if I know I'm not going to order, I don't participate. But anyway, so your host, tag her friends. Have her host, say, and I would send messages with the link to the drawing slip. I would just say, hey, oh my gosh, I had so much fun partying with you. Don't forget to get entered in the drawing. Anybody who interacted, I would send them a message saying, hey, I had so much fun partying with you. Don't forget to get entered in the drawing. So just really, and then the other thing is to have them click done when they do it, so maybe put the little down hand and say, don't forget to click done when you finished it. And so then they're going to be doing done, 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 and it reminds other people. That's another thing that I found works. Huh?
What do you mean click done?
Type done, comment done.
Oh, okay.
Comment done. Yeah. So, hey, and I'll say, and I'll put a little down, that little pointy finger that goes down emoji, and I'll say, comment done comment done when you finished it. And so you can give them an extra entry. You could, because on Riffle Raffle, you can put that they have 2 entries if they announce it, or something like that. But the main thing is, people are in this group think. And the other thing is that when your host comments, and then you tell your host, please go fill it out and click done. Message her and say, please go fill it out and click done. Okay. And so that brings that post up on their feeds. Okay. And then when somebody else that maybe they're friends with clicks done, now it's again on their feed. And it's just going to remind them. Okay. Yeah. And that's the way, Facebook wants our posts to be engaging, and they want our posts to be, authentic. And so when people start commenting on a post, Facebook says, hey, people like this post. People are commenting, I say all the time on my lives, I'll be like, throw me an emoji. Throw me a crying emoji if onions make you cry. So, if you share a video or you share a tip or something like that, then you can ask them to comment with an emoji. They're not committing anything. They're just commenting with an emoji, and that brings a post in front of more people. So I think one of my most engaging posts on my online parties when I was doing the posting ones was, I would say, Friday night, are you out or in? And I had like a post with people, partying, and then a post with somebody sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And literally, and I'm like, show me a picture. And so people would post these pictures, and it started great conversations. Like one lady posted a picture of her triplets, and they were covered in spaghetti. It's funny. It's just funny. It started a conversation, which that's what Facebook wants. So they're going to reward you by enhancing that post in people's feeds. And so the more people that see it, the more they're going to engage, and then they're going to see the other posts that are in the group. And so that's what's about. If you imagine people are only checking Facebook once or twice a day, then you want to make sure that your posts are in their feed, so they're seeing it, because that's the main thing. Is that drawing slip, you want to make sure they're seeing it. And then anybody who orders, you need to call them within 24 hours of them placing their order. Okay. After a live party, I call everybody the next day. Everybody that came, I call them the next day. whenever anybody, I don't call, I will be honest and say that anybody who orders before the party actually happens, I don't call them until that next day after the party, okay? Just because I can't remember who I called and who I didn't. So I wait. And then as the orders come in, I call people and just say, hey, did you have, were you able to find everything you were looking for? Did you have a question about anything? Well, and actually I start off with, hey, hey, Brenda, this is Jennifer Soto with the Pampered Chef. I'm the one that did, especially if it's an outside order, I'm the one that did Susie's party. I just want to say thank you for your order. Thank you so much for supporting, Susie. She's really excited about the things that she's going to get. And I just wanted to let you know that we appreciate you. Were you able to find everything that you were looking for? Yeah, okay. Well, was the website easy to navigate? Did you have a question about anything? I would love to, share some recipes or ideas with you. Like I'll look at their order, and if they ordered a rock, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna message you a cookbook with a bunch of rock recipes. Okay, and I'll just send them a cookbook. I mean, there's lots of cookbooks that are compiled. I need to share the Dropbox. I'm gonna update my pinned post with my recipe files, because then you can just download them. There's Word recipes and PDF recipes. You can save the Word one and then change the information. So, but it's just an online file that I use to store my stuff. And then that way I can text links to people or post links on Facebook. I don't have to just email everything. So, yeah. But really, upping your engagement and including your host is going to be a big thing for you to ensure that you get those bookings at a party. So, and telling your host, hey, we definitely want to get 2 bookings at your party. And you can even tell them, my goal is to make sure that we have 2 bookings at every party, because I want to make sure you have 2 future half price items to use. And then once those parties are booked, you're utilizing your host to keep, for those hosts, the future hosts, to keep their party date. Because Jamie is excited to go to Mary's party, because she wants to get the wine bottle opener. So Mary better not close her, cancel her party, so that, becomes another helpful tool, and I will tell you, my cancellations, since I've really been focusing on host coaching, have gone down to nothing. I hardly ever get cancellations. So, but my focus has been on host coaching. And so when you host coach, you are building the relationship with your host, and she wants to help you. She wants to help herself as well. So, so that's it. And so hopefully those will help. Hopefully this will work. I mean, this is actually, aside from doing this training here, this is something I've really, really, really been thinking about and contemplating. And how do I get my host to help me? And like last night when I finished the party, I looked at my host and I said, okay, so here's where you're at. You're at $750. You're, $47 away from the next level, and you'll get this much more at the next level. So make sure you follow up with, so who do you have to follow up with? That's what I asked. Who do you have to follow up with? Who didn't come, or, whatever. And so she tells me, and I'm like, okay. And I start writing names down. And I say, all right, so now we don't have any bookings. And so you definitely want to have a couple bookings so that you have those future things. So she looks at her 2 friends who are still there, and she's like, Naomi, you're hosting a party. And Naomi's like, I don't want to host a party. She's like, I need you to host a party. And I was like, so I'm going to let you guys duke it out, but I agree with Alba and Naomi. You definitely need to host a party. So I'll just send Naomi a message. I meant to do it today, but I'll do it tomorrow, saying, hey, when's your party? Just as because I feel comfortable we joked about it, so I'm be like, hey, it's Jennifer, when's your party? What are we doing your party? When'd you guys hash out? What date you guys pick? But following up with that and encouraging your host to go out and get those bookings. And offering that free incentive, I think, really helps. I have hosts that will start posting on Facebook, I need another booking for my party. I need another booking for my party. And if you have them as not promises of bookings, but a dated booking, that's going to make it even more impactful. So,
is there anything I can do to, because my parties have closed,
right?
Like the I didn't get bookings from and stuff. Is there anything I can do with my host at this point, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, the parties are closed, but I think I would go back to them and say, hey, I'm doing a past host booking incentive.
Okay.
free shipping on the second booked party, you know, or free ship. I mean, you can even do free shipping on the 2 parties that are booked. On any party that, you know, is booked, between, give them a time frame. You know, any referral that you send to me, when we do that party, when you, on your order, you're going to get a 50% off item and you're going to get free shipping.
Okay.
So $7.25 is the free shipping, right? Is what you'd be offering.
Yeah.
And so would it be worth it to boost and then possibly have another 2 parties off of those next parties? I think so.
Yeah.
And not every host is going to take you up on it, but you can say, hey, when you bring me 2 bookings, you can have $7.25 off of your orders on those next 2 parties. So maybe they only get it if they bring you 2 parties.
Yeah.
Okay. You just decide how you want to do that. Write it out. Say it a couple times before you call them so that you're not stumbling over your words and so that it makes sense when you say it. Practice on your husband. Honey, does this make sense? And he'll probably try to give you advice and you'll say thanks and then go do whatever you want to do. But, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it works for me.
I do most of my stuff through text.
Okay. Okay. Well, that makes it easy then through text, you know, because then you've got it down and it's, and so you can do that or you can offer them something like, you know, something otherwise at the second booked party. You know, at the second booked party, they get $10 off their order or $5 off their order or free shipping or whatever, you know, however you want to do that. So, but they don't get anything until those parties are happening.
Yeah.
Until they're at those parties is what I would say.
That's a good idea.
So, and then, but I would definitely do that. I would definitely go back to all of your hosts and say, hey, I'm doing a past host booking incentive for the summer, you know, and line up some parties for the summer. That's a great idea. Another great idea we came up with. I like it. I might share it this week.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. That's a good one. So coming back, see, I wouldn't have thought about going back to my past host, but why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? That's fantastic. So is that something you feel comfortable with?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. I'm full of ideas, but maybe they're not good ideas. I don't know.
No, they're helpful.
Okay, good. So I could probably write a book. It might take me a while to get it all out. I have a lot of information. But you know, the thing is, and the main thing is, anytime you're coming up with an incentive, you don't want to reward the might happen. Okay? Yeah. It's like the Nobel Peace Prize thing. It loses its value and it costs you costs you financially. So you don't want to reward what might happen. You want to reward it when it's happened. So you would give the award at the party. You would give the free shipping for the current host. You would give that to them for the dated bookings, you know, from the party, you know, dates. You've talked to the person. You've confirmed it. Okay, I've confirmed that date. There's one. Okay, I've confirmed the second date. There's another one. Do you want to offer an additional incentive if she gets more to 3? You know, I'll add in a seasoning for every other one you get, you know?
Yeah.
So every additional dated party you get, you can have a seasoning because the seasonings aren't going to cost you anything. They're like $5 and then you take 20% off a rub, not a seasoning, a rub. They're like $4.50 and then you take 20% off. So now you've taken $1 off, they're $3.50. That's a good use of your money. And you just add it on her order, you know? So then you get commission on it. On top of that, there's another 20%. So it really doesn't cost you much, you know? So, so that's definitely, that's definitely something that you can do as well. So, all right, let me give you your homework. We've gone over our time. So having too much fun and I'm not looking at the clock. All right. So homework is, okay, if you haven't done your homework from last week, you want to do that. It's in the group chat. Make sure you watch that video, okay? Practice booking lines for the group hello, the simple group selling, and the confidence close with one other person, okay? In this group, it says one other person in this group. So that means maybe you and Tiara get on like a Facebook chat in the next week and practice on each other. And that's good because then you'll get to know each other. So Tiara's great. Tiara, if you're watching this, I'm going to message you about it too. So, but it's funny. I've never actually met Tiara. We've never actually met. We've only ever conversed on video like this. So, all right. The other one is to observe a strong seller's party. In the next week, I don't have a party, but you can, I will share with you guys a link to a live party that was, I have a couple of hosts that have taped the live party, so you can kind of see how that interaction is. I'll start posting my show schedule, and when I have something, especially one that's closer to you, Valerie, and I know Tiara, I'm not close to you, but we can work that out. We can figure out a way for you to observe a party. So I know Michael Reeves does a lot of live videos of his parties. So, all right. So make 15 contacts a week outside of the party. That's doing a power hour, focusing on booking and recruiting. And then your training audio assignment for the week, it's actually 2 weeks, or it's a week, is make it a full calendar with Julie Gizzi, Julie Ritter, and Karen Pollitt. And that is on the call to resources under the Director Bound. Okay. So, do you know where to find that, or do you want me to screen share and show you?
Screen share.
Okay. So let me screen share. Okay. Oh, this is what I was doing. That's for later. This is what I was doing. Okay. So we're at Consultants Corner right here. And if you go to training and resources,
yeah,
then you go to Director Bound program right here.
Okay.
Oh, make sure you're signed in. Training and resources, Director Bound program. Then call number 1 was last week, and it has the mini catalog challenge, the standard booking script, and the Make It a Network audio. This is call number 2 today. It has the party outline cards, which, Valerie, you should have new ones. Tiara, you probably don't have new ones, so you want to look at those, download those. You can download them if you have an iPad or a tablet. It's great because they fill the screen like right here. So if you put them on there. And then 2 bookings from every party, that worksheet, which kind of explains this. So you can see it since we're on small screens. And then there's the Make It. I didn't mean to click that. That's not what I meant to do. Anyway, so the Make It a Full calendar is right there. Okay? So anytime we have this, the resources are right here. So look, Make It a Full calendar is right here from the kickoff call as well. And then tracking contacts. This is the thing that explains how to track the contacts. Okay? So, all right. So going back to Pinterest, that Pinterest thing right here. I wanted to make it big. I was trying to figure out how to make it big, but I couldn't make it big. But anyway, this says, I'm going to leave you with this quote, and it says, life will only change when you become more committed to your dreams than you are to your comfort zone. And so this kind of stuck with me today, because when you know what your why is, like, I know, Valerie, you want to travel. I was actually thinking about you and you're, wanting to travel, and I was going to ask you if you've had any plans, because you've been making some change there. So have you been tracking for travel?
We have a lot of plans
Good.
This year. We got out of debt in April.
Yay!
Yeah, exciting. So we're
awesome.
traveling. We're traveling a bunch of places this summer.
Good. Oh, I'm so excited. That's awesome. You should be shouting from the rooftops for that. So very good. So so excellent. So think about, always think about what your dreams are, and sometimes in order to have our dreams, we have to be uncomfortable talking to the people at Walmart. Don't talk to the weird ones that end up on the people of Walmart, but you could talk to them. So, but talking to people at the hairdresser, talking to people at I booked a show with my massage therapist, and it was actually a great show, and I had a lot of bookings off of it. So still doing those bookings. So, so that's that's exciting and fun. So just really getting good at asking the people that you interact with about hosting, and encouraging your hosts to help you is going to be a big thing. So, all right. So I will post the homework on the group chat that we have on Facebook, and look forward to hearing your ahas. Okay. And then we'll meet next week. And if this time is good, like 7:45 on Wednesday nights, we can move this to the evening. I'm completely okay with that. I had picked the afternoon so that people in Germany had the opportunity to be a part of it. But if it works good to be in the evening, let's do it in the evening. Wednesday nights work for me. I'm really open for that. And it works better when we can interact. So, and it's more fun. We come up with these fantastic ideas. I mean, think about these ideas we came up with tonight. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I work almost every Wednesday, so
okay.
afternoons don't work for me.
Yeah. So that works. That works better. I'm trying to, okay, there it is. Oops. Stop share. Okay. Clicking all the buttons. I don't know if you can see it, but I was like, click, 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 click. So anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.
And I'll see you guys later. All right.
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.